Hello chess fans! After a devastating loss in this game, the last knight of the King's Gambit Rudolf Spielmann lost faith in his favorite opening and wrote his famous article called From the Sickbed of the King's Gambit. And Dr. Tarrasch, who defeated Spielmann in this game, received the Brilliancy Prize for his victory. So after the initial moves e4, e5, f4, Tarrasch played d5, Falkbeer counter-gambit. Of course, f takes e would be a terrible blunder because of queen h4 check and white is losing the rook. That's why the main move here is e takes d5. And now we can see the main idea of this counter-gambit, e4. The pawn exerts pressure on white's position and obstructs white's development. That's why white wants to get rid of this pawn as soon as possible and played d3, attacking the pawn. Knight f6, defending it. d takes e, knight takes e4. Now queen h4 check is threatened. That's why white played knight f3. Bishop c5, creating threats on f2. Queen e2, pinning the knight and threatening to capture it. That's why black played bishop f5, defending the knight. And white played g4. So this move, g4, and the whole variation was considered to be in white's favor, as white is winning the piece. So if bishop captures on g4, then the knight would be unguarded and queen would capture it with check. And if bishop retreats to g6, then just f5. However, after this game, the evaluation of this move, of g4 move, changed completely into its opposite, and no one played g4 anymore. And instead of g4, played either knight c3 or knight d2, attacking the pinned knight. So, you can pause the video and try to find Tarrasch's brilliant novelty, after which no one played g4 anymore. So, as both white king and white queen are placed on the open e-file, if black manages to place the rook on e8, that would be just devastating. And in order to achieve this goal as soon as possible, Tarrasch just sacrifices the bishop and castles kingside. And after g takes f, rook e8. The rook is defending the knight and also creates tremendous pressure on the e-file. The only way to close the e-file, for example, knight e5, is losing on the spot after queen h4 check, as the knight was protecting h4 square. That's why Spielmann played bishop g2. And now knight f2, attacking the queen and the rook. And the only way to save the queen is knight e5, which Spielmann played. Now knight takes h1, bishop takes h1. Now, it looks like f6 is the best move for black. However, that would be premature. If black played f6, that would weaken this very important diagonal on which black king is placed. And if we also consider that the black bishop is unguarded, we will be able to find white's next move in this position, d6, opening the bishop's diagonal and also opening this diagonal, and queen c4 would come with check and attack the bishop, unguarded bishop. For example, if black plays f takes e, then just queen c4 check, capturing the bishop next move. Or if instead of f takes e, c takes d, then bishop d5 check. If king goes to h8, then the fork would follow. And if king f8, then queen h5 with multiple threats. That's why, in this position, Tarrasch didn't play f6 and played knight d7 instead, developing a piece, guarding c5, which is very important. And now, after this, f6 would come next move, as there is nothing white can do anyways in order to unpin the knight, as both the king and the queen are still on the e-file. So, as there is nothing else to do, Spielmann just continues the development. Knight c3, and now f6. Knight e4, f takes e5, knight takes c5, knight takes c5, f takes e. And Spielmann hoped that these three pawns would help him to continue the resistance. However, the pawns would fall very soon. And by making the next move, queen h4 check, Tarrasch starts this operation of attacking these pawns. So now, if king d1, then just queen d4 check, capturing on e5 next move. That's why Spielmann played king f1. And now, very strong move, rook f8. attacking the weak pawn on f5 and threatening to capture it with check. And also, what is very important, vacating the e8 square for the second rook, which is currently isn't playing and isn't doing anything. However, it will enter the game with a great effect, and both rooks on e8 and f8 would be placed ideally. There is no way white can protect f5. For example, if queen f3, then just queen c4 check and capturing on c2, winning one more pawn, and attacking f5 pawn with a queen together with the rook. So there is nothing Spielmann could do in order to defend it. That's why he just played king g1, moving away at least from this f-file. And Tarrasch just checked on d4, bishop e3, and captured on e5. Rook e1, knight d7, queen c4, creating unpleasant x-ray. That's why Tarrasch moved away. Bishop e4, rook e8. Now this rook is just great, and the light squared bishop isn't really doing anything. It's just very passive bishop, as pawns on d5 and f5 are limiting its diagonals. Bishop d4, attacking the queen, queen f4, rook e2. Now it would be a terrible blunder to capture on e4 twice because of bishop takes g7 check and black is losing the queen. That's why Tarrasch played knight f6. And now capture on e4 is a real threat. That's why Spielmann captured the knight. And Tarrasch captured with a pawn in order to open the g-file. And now black's attack on g-file would be deadly. h3, rook g8, check. And here Spielmann resigned because of checkmate in a couple of moves. So I hope you enjoyed the game, and if you did, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.